where saints go. Stay young at heart. Ah, 'cause you never, never, oh, heart. That's the way of the world. Everywhere. Plant your flower, and you grow. Child is
It's time for Smiley and West every Monday and Thursday, top of the second hour. Dr. Cornel West joins us, and he chooses his own walk-on music, and today it's the elements, earth, wind, and fire, Doc.
Brother, 50 years ago, the genius of earth, wind, and fire, Maurice White, Bert Dean White, Charles Stepney, Brother John, all of the band, telling the truth, bearing witness to love and justice. But the way of the world, brother, so cold, so coarse, so raw, so mean, so cruel, and yet somehow, against the grain, here come a people with smile and style. Here come a folk who's hated and haunted and hunted down, but still yearning for love, with their hearts on fire, with desire for freedom, desire for justice, desire for sweetness, desire for gentleness. Yeah, that's what Earth, Wind, and Fire is enacting right now, brother. That's the black musical tradition. Nothing like it in the modern world. And that's what the Left Coast Forum was all about, brother. Brother Freddie was playing some music, wasn't he?
He was indeed. Yeah, our Left Coast Forum was different than most political gatherings. We were doing R&B all day long. in between sessions, yeah.
Oh, we had Shaka Khan, brother. But I just thank God for you, though, brother, your vision of bringing all of us together, Sister Sharon Cow, Brother Dick Price, man. The dialogue with Vincent Harris was magnificent. Sister Lydia dealing with the ugly treatment of our precious brown Latino immigrants. Oh, man, we had, of course, Estelle, the Jewish Voices for Peace was there, Estelle Chandler. Of course, the mayor did a wonderful job, and the congressman, Sister Sidney, was wonderful as well, though, man. And then Brother Corte and Sister Dominique threw down in defense of our precious trans, our precious gays, our precious lesbian brothers and sisters, man. It was a magnificent gathering, man.
Yeah, and then after all that, Dr. Cornel West brought the house down. That's what he didn't say. After all those amazing speakers and presenters and the plenaries, again, we're talking about the Left Coast Forum. If you missed it this weekend here in Southern California, it was the place to be. Across the country, of course, you've been hearing about this Left Coast Forum, but it was an amazing day last Saturday when hundreds and hundreds of progressives of every race, color, creed, sexual orientation, political persuasion, we were all there. Our various ideologies coming together to just wrestle with so many of these issues in real time. And so it was a great day for this progressive gathering on the campus of LA Trade Tech. And the plenary sessions were just on fire. And these amazing keynotes caused each of us to think. I say all the time that this program at its best, not unlike the Left Coast Forum, is about challenging us to re-examine the assumptions we hold, helping us to expand our inventory of ideas and see the world, this grim moment in the world, through a different lens. And Dr. West helped us do that as the closing keynote. As I said, the place was people were on their feet. It was on fire at the end when Dr. West closed, but all throughout the day. And so we thank Congresswoman Sidney Kamlanger-Dove, Mayor Karen Bass, and all those names, all those sponsors and partners, all the plenary panelists, the plenary discussion leaders, everybody who made this day a huge success. I was saying to my team just yesterday, actually this morning before I came on the air, that whenever you do an event for the first year, the first time you do an event, you're looking for proof of concept. concept. Does the concept work? There's no doubt in my mind that the proof of concept is there. And so we are going to be working pretty assiduously to make sure we do a Left Coast Forum again next year. And this year was critical because we're in California, of course, and this Left Coast Forum happened this weekend, just days in advance of this election here in California, this special election about Prop 50. Will the voters in California give Gavin Newsom and the Democrats the power they need to bring on 5 new Democratic seats in this fight for who's going to control Congress? That's what this Prop 50 vote is all about. We're just days in front of that. Next year, if we do it around the same time, and we likely will, we'll be just in front of all-important midterm elections. So the proof of concept is there. The jury is no longer out on that. It was an amazing Left Coast Forum this year. We look forward to doing it again next year. When we come forward, I want to talk to Doc about the state of progressivism. Right now in this country, you just heard us talking to David Sirota about the master plan and what Democrats do in this moment, 50 plus years after Lewis Powell, speaking of 50 years ago. So the state of progressivism today in this country and indeed around the globe. We'll jump with that and then do a few other things. You're listening to Smiley and West right about now.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Life moves fast. That's why California makes voting easy. You don't have to wait until Election Day. Drop your ballot at a secure drop box, visit an early vote center, or mail it. Over 80% of Californians vote early, and you can too. Plus, when you sign up for Where's My Ballot, you'll get a text or email the moment your ballot is received and counted. Don't delay, vote today. Get more information at sos.ca.gov. A message from the California Secretary of State.
September is World Alzheimer's Month, a time to shine a light on a public health crisis that hits Black families hardest. 1 in 5 Black adults ages 70 and older is living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD, and it's not a normal part of aging. Early signs like repeating questions, missed appointments, even trouble handling bills might seem small, but they matter. The good news? There are treatment options available that may slow AD when diagnosed early. Don't wait. Visit treatalzearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com to learn more. This message is brought to you by AZI.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. We've all had that epic rideshare experience. Halfway through the trip, you know their heartbreak, their career path, and they know your aspirations to go find yourself in Portugal. It's human. We're all looking for connection, for someone to listen. But sometimes the people we spill our hearts to aren't exactly equipped to help us through it. With over a decade of data-backed experience from helping millions of people, BetterHelp matches you with a therapist based on your needs and goals. No asking for recommendations or endless scrolling through listings. Simply answer a few questions online and you'll be matched with a therapist often in as little as 48 hours. Join over 5 million people worldwide who've trusted BetterHelp for their mental health and well-being. Get a therapist who gets you. Visit BetterHelp.com/ABCRadio to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/ABCRadio.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed. It's Monday, top of the second hour. So Dr. West is here. Cornel West is always here Monday and Thursday when we kick off hour two. Doc, before I jump into progressivism and the future of it in this country and for that matter around the globe, you probably heard a bit of my conversation with David Sirota in the first hour about his new book, Master Plan, The Hidden Plot to Legalize Corruption in America. And near the end of that conversation, he suggested that 2028 presents a unique opportunity. He thinks a timely opportunity for someone to run a campaign that really draws attention to corruption. He went back to John McCain. I mentioned Bernie Sanders. I mentioned Cornel West. But his point is, again, that in 2028, given all that we have seen and will see, sadly, regrettably, for the next 3 years in this second version of Donald Trump's presidency, given the big grift that we see happening every single day, that 2028, to his mind, represents a unique opportunity. And so, again, you heard me say that, well, Cornel West ran on that message. Bernie Sanders ran on that message. He says, yeah, but I think the time is right now. What say you about that?
Well, you know, I always appreciate Brother Dave Sirota. He's a good brother. He's a brilliant brother in his own way. But I have analytical disagreements with. You notice he started his narrative with the Powell the memo. The Powell memo was basically a white supremacist gesture that was tied to preserving the power of big business. So if you don't understand the tremendous impact of the legacy of white supremacy in relation to Powell, then you're never going to get to the right analysis and praxis. It's not just about corruption. America been corrupt for a long, long, long time. What was distinctive about the Powell memo was it was an excessive democracy he was concerned about, because for the first time in the history of America, the United States was becoming a full-fledged multiracial democracy. It's too many black folk. It's too many poor black folk. It's too many poor working black folk. And the end and aim, and this is what me and Brother Dave agree, as long as you keep black folk and white folk divided, the billionaires, the ruling classes, big money, big military, big tech, they're going to run off with all the resources. What was distinctive about Brother Bernie was crucial, but what? For the first time in American history, the most progressive candidate for president couldn't get the most progressive community in America, the black community. Nina Turner out there breaking her neck. I'm out there breaking my neck. She did over 150. I did over 100 for Bernie. We couldn't get the most progressive community. Why? Because the struggle against white supremacy was not viewed as central, even in Brother Bernie's campaign. You see, so that if it's not going to be just corruption, Brother Dave, no, you got to understand the impact of Jesse Jackson in '84 and '88, creating the space that could have been an alternative to Clinton's milquetoast neoliberalism, captive to big money, captive to the corruption that he's talking about, but it didn't work. And then here comes Obama, and Obama decides to go neoliberal rather than genuinely progressive, and lo and behold, the fascists begin to take over. Because when liberalism collapsed, you're either going to get fascism on the right, or you're going to get something more radical on the left, whatever you want to call it, socialism, social democracy. But the fascists were much more powerful in terms of responding to the bailouts of the businesses of the Obama administration, where masses of working people, including black people, lost so much, and the 1% were not touched at all. Not one Wall Street gangster went to jail. At a time, you got mass incarceration going on in black communities and poor communities of all colors. So there's overlap in my analysis with Brother Dave, but he's missing out if he doesn't understand the centrality, the legacy of white supremacy as it relates to the predatory capitalist processes that generate billionaires at the top and 70% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. That's what we talked about this weekend.
That's
brother.
right. We did. Well, you
we
did.
We hit that head on.
No, you did, and you did it. You did it masterfully as usual. So let me just ask you whether or not David is onto something in this regard. Will Donald Trump, how can I phrase this? Will he have so tenderized the American electorate? He's beating us with a meat cleaver every day. Will we be so tenderized by 2028, born of white supremacy on steroids and corporate greed and Donald Trump's big grift on steroids? Will we be in a situation in 2028 where you think more Americans will be ready for the kind of message you were running on this last time?
Well, it's hard to say, brother.
Yeah.
You got Cassandra-like situation where it's difficult to predict. But I can tell you part of the problem is the corruption of the two-party system. Brother Dave laid it out.
Yeah.
Big money dictates both of the dominant orientations of the parties.
Mm-hmm.
And so more and more the masses stay home. They're completely disconnected. They completely distance themselves. And so you're either going to get social movements in the street, and that's really what you do. We need a labor movement that can just shut the country down the way they do in South Korea. And we need social movements that have the capacity. Neither have the capacity at the moment. But I don't see the Democratic Party as a vehicle. He didn't want to deal with the corruption of the two-party system.
Right.
He kept telling the truth about the Democrats caving in. But we can't tell the truth about the way in which you can't even have a Democratic Party talking about poverty. William Barber out there breaking his neck over and over again. He can't even get a voice in the convention, just like the Palestinian brothers and sisters who are Democrats who support Kamala Harris can't even get a voice. Well, if that's the case with the Democratic Party, they're not ready to take on big business. They're not ready to take on the billionaires who are the benefactors of their own party. So you either get an independent party, a working people's party, a party in which it comes to they hit white supremacy hard. That means mass incarceration. That means conditions in the hood. That means homelessness and unhousedness. All of the conditions that connect to black people's plight. And, of course, the connection of dealing with genocide in Gaza and dealing with genocide in Sudan and dealing with Haiti and a host of other things that we talked about this weekend.
Yeah.
So Brother Dave is on to something, but he's not hitting it head on. That's my challenge to him.
Nope, I appreciate that. Speaking of Bernie Sanders, so Bernie and AOC were with Zohran Mamdani for a big rally this weekend in Queens, as I recall. That mayor's race is drawing nigh in New York City. And again, there's been so much commentary about this New York mayor's race, in part because the national media is in New York City. And so they make it a huge story, although Doc lives in New York City. He's talking to us from New York City right now. So that's his residence. And yet, I'm not naive. I've been laughing about this for years. So often New York stories become American stories because, again, the mainstream media, the corporate media, is based in New York. So we're forced to have these New York conversations whether we want to or not. That said, America is not New York City. New York City is not America. I don't want to take anything away from whatever Zohran Mamdani may pull off on Election Day. Again, Bernie and AOC campaigning with him this weekend, but I don't want to overread it either. How should we measure whatever happens with Zohran Mamdani in New York City?
Well, I think it'd be a wonderful and beautiful thing if he wins. I support him, but he's got the same problem that Brother Bernie had.
Right.
Which is that he's unable to seize the imagination of the masses of black people. He's got a progressive movement, a crucial movement, but he can't speak either the language or speak to the situation and needs or break the back of black neoliberal leadership over black people.
Let me ask a question right quick. You made a powerful point. You made a couple times now, and I want to just interrogate it right quick here. When it comes to Bernie, Zohran, and there are others who have not been able to break through with black voters, is it them or is it us?
It's both.
Okay.
But they have to make the move.
Got it.
They've got to make the move. They got to be in the community. They've got to talk about issues that relate to folks, not just in terms of freezing and grocery stores, but white supremacy cuts deeper than that.
Right.
Those issues are crucial. They bring us together. They allow for a common ground. But if you're not going to deal with issues of discrimination, degradation, if you're not going to deal with issues of police, if you're willing to side with your business folk when it comes to the police and talk about how wonderful some of these earlier mayors were, some of whom had stop and frisk, you say, hey, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
What is going on here, you see? But it's also us because we got a black neoliberal leadership that's morally bankrupt, and they in it for the money because the big money's flowing, but they're not speaking to those issues either, but they remain in high places.
Yeah.
And that's part of the legacy of Obama and company, too. Because he was the exemplary black neoliberal who won.
I was saying to somebody yesterday, they quoted, we were in a conversation, and they said, well, power corrupts. I said, I used to believe that. Now I've come to believe that not just power doesn't corrupt, the chase for power corrupts. Before you even get power, you start corrupting your own message, right? You see folks pivoting and shifting on their way to the power seat. So it's not just that power corrupts, it's that the chase for the power corrupts. But I digress on that.
No, but as a Christian, brother, we born corrupt.
Yeah, that's it.
If we born corrupt, if we don't get changed and transformed, if we headed down the corrupt way, we can't wait to chase for the power.
That's
can't wait to chase for the money. If your mama didn't intervene, if Jesus didn't intervene, if Muhammad didn't intervene, if Malcolm and Martin didn't intervene, you're going to stay a corrupt one.
That's it.
Change your life. Change your life.
That's it. That's it. That's the way of the world, somebody said. That's the way of the world.
That's the way of the world. That's Maurice. That's Bernine. That's Charles.
Yeah.
That's Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I spent the last 4 or 5 minutes of our conversation, the 4 minutes here, talking about progressivism, this wonderful gathering at which Dr. West keynoted and, again, just brought the house down at the closing. The Left Coast Forum was this weekend here in L.A., and there were all kinds of conversations about progressivism and the future of it. And given what we've been talking about today already, it's a perfect place to close. What is your read of the future of progressivism, not just in this country, but indeed around the globe? And I say that because, as you know, conservatism has taken hold around the globe, and I wonder whether or not we can fight back against that here, much less the world over.
Well, I mean, I would say fascism even stronger than conservatism.
I take that.
brother.
I take that.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's really
what it is.
One of the dominant tendencies of the world right now is fascism around the world, and Trump is just one example of it. He just happens to be in the most a powerful empire at the moment, but this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way of the world too.
Yep.
And so our challenge is always to bear witness to truth and justice, no matter what the circumstances and conditions are, and to preserve what has been poured into us, all the love, integrity, honesty, courage, persistence, perseverance, tied to the plight of the least of these, linked to the 25th chapter of Matthew. That's what we call to do, to bear witness to that. The rest is not our business.
Yeah.
We're not in control. We're not in control.
Yep. We are not in control. We do our best, and as Doc said, the rest is not our business. But to your walk-on song today, that's the way of the world. It's one thing to accept that is the way of the world, but how do we become world changers?
Well, see, part of the genius of Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of the elements of that's the way of the world is the hearts of fire that have desire for love and justice. So the way the world is not just wretched, but it's also wonderful. The way the world is not just corrupt, but it's also beautiful. The way the world is a whole lot of hate, but it's also a whole lot of love. It's already constitutive of the way the world is. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that the devil's busy in the world, but the devil ain't in control of the world. Uh-oh, I don't want to get too biblical
there
this
you go.
morning.
Come on, preach.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. He'll have the last word.
Yeah, if he were in control, we'd all be in trouble. If he were in fact in control.
Lord have mercy. We'll be a party in the crack house in every corner.
Yeah, we do have agency. It is the way of the world.
We got agency.
We've got agency. Dr. West is here every Monday and Thursday, top of the second hour, and you get more of the same. So don't ever miss. Don't miss any show, but don't ever miss Monday and Thursday at the top of the second hour for this version, this iteration of Smiley and West. Love you, Doc. Glad you got home safely, man.
Love you, brother. Stay strong, though, man.
Talk to you soon.
Message loud and clear.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New York City is capping e-bike and e-scooter speeds at 15 miles per hour. Mayor Eric Adams pushed for the limit, and City Bike says it's already working to slow its fleet.
A lot of people use it. It's handy. It comes in handy for a lot of people to get around.
They need more regulation.
They drive like crazy.
The move comes after months of debate over safety and the popularity of electric rides. Black New York Attorney General Letitia James has pleaded not guilty to federal mortgage fraud charges in Virginia. Prosecutors allege she misrepresented a 2020 home purchase to get better loan terms. James calls the case baseless and political retribution. Her trial begins January 26th. And the search is on for Shaquille O'Neal's custom $180,000 Range Rover stolen while being shipped from California to Louisiana. Effortless Motors is offering a $10,000 reward. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, health care, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The World Series is in LA the next 3 nights. Game 3 is tonight at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers and Toronto are tied at 1-1 in the best of 7. First pitch tonight at 5 o'clock on Fox. The Lakers didn't have LeBron or Luka Doncic for Sunday night's game at Sacramento. They did have Austin Reeves. Reeves dropped a career-high 51 points to spark a 127-120 win for the Lakers. The Clippers got 30 points from Kawhi Leonard Sunday night to beat Portland 114-107. It was Portland's second game without head coach Chauncey Billups. Billups is on indefinite leave of absence after he was arrested by the FBI for his alleged role in illegal gambling operations. Congratulations to New York Jets head coach Aaron Glenn. Glenn, one of 5 African-American head coaches in the NFL, got his first win Sunday after 7 tries. The Jets came from behind to beat Cincinnati 39-38. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finishes finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
All righty, a conversation now with the new owner of the news and culture site, The Root. Her name is Allison, founder of Watering Hole Media. You see her on CNN. Honored to have her on this program. Ashley, congratulations. How are you today?
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm doing well.
So congrats again on the acquisition of The Root. Why The Root? Why the acquisition?
Well, when I started Watering Home Media, I knew in addition to creating our own content and working directly with folks in community, we also wanted to have a strong distribution mechanism through digital acquisitions. And so The Root just so happened to be the first of one of our properties, excuse me, and why The Root is because of its such rich and storied history, short but strong story history, from its inception as being one of the first Black platforms to now really trying to be the voice and make sense of the moment for Black people. It just seemed like the perfect opportunity, and I didn't want to let it pass.
How do you make sense of this moment for Black people?
I think in a couple of ways. One, we have to be reflective on our history and where we've come from. Two, we need to actually be relying on experts that have studied the situations that we are in and how we get out of them, and having experts from various opinions, and it not just feeling like you're preaching to the choir, but you're really having a way to communicate information to reach the masses. And it will look different for every issue. Um, Primarily right now, The Root is all in the written word, and we want to make sure we continue to provide that our information through that medium, but also meeting our audience where they are, and that may be doing it with audio or doing it with video, so that folks know that we are here for them just as much as they have been here for us.
Yep. When people use the term, I'm going to be honest with you, I confess here, when people use the term various opinions with me, it always scares me because I too often take this notion of various opinions to mean both sidesism, which wears me out these days. So what did you mean when you said various opinions?
Yeah, so I think that Black people have a diversity of opinions and experiences. So, for example, if we're going to have a conversation about education, I want a parent, I want a student, I want a teacher, I want an administrator, I want a community member that doesn't have children in the school but cares about the school, because that's what I mean, from different perspectives. So you can tell a complete story, and it's not just from one person's perch.
Yeah. I know something of this because I'm obviously running a station here in LA, and I'm in conversations all the time with all the stations across the country that carry this particular syndicated program. Many of them, some of them certainly Black owned, and many more even Black operated. Black media, I don't need to tell you, is taking it on the chin right now. I look back on my deal here in LA. I brought this station online during the pandemic, which was not the smartest thing to do per se. But here we are, 5 years later, almost 5 years later. Thank God for Jesus. We're still here, and things are building and things are growing. But it's been a tough sledding over this 5 year period. And now we're in this moment where Trump is upending everything, and black media is not being supported with advertising the way that it ought. I mean, in some ways, it's the best of times to take over a black media outlet. In other ways, it's the worst of times. Tell me how you process taking over the route in this particular grim and bizarre moment for American media writ large.
Yeah, when obviously over the last couple of months, just watching everything that is happening in media,
Hmm.
when I was getting close to closing on the deal, the question I asked myself is like, are you sure you really want to do this?
Hmm.
And the answer was yes, this is the only thing that you should be doing right now because it's what my assignment is for the work I'm supposed to be doing
Hmm.
on this planet in this moment. But of course, the weight of this moment weighs on me and the team, and we want to make sure that we allow the root to be a place of integrity and really rising to the occasion. Now, all that being said, I wrote a letter to our readers about we're not going to be perfect, but we will have a standard of excellence, and we're going to move with steadiness and intense and with great intensity.
Hmm.
So you're not going to see some massive scalable project in the short term because one, we have to make sure that not only are we doing the good work of putting news out, but we also are being good stewards of the business so that it is here for another 17 years like it has been to date. So looking at all the forecasting that everyone else is looking at, but I think just trying to stay ahead of the trends in digital distribution, stay ahead of the story, so make sure that people can rely on you.
Hmm.
But also, really, the one thing that I think advertisers should be aware of is like black people have a $2 trillion buying power in this
Hmm.
country. Like we are the people you should be advertising to because we are consumers of your product. So trying to use some of those things to ensure that we have the stability across the business.
Well, trust me, I'm preaching that message every day. And here's what we're up against. What we're up against is a corporate America that, to my mind, has been given license by Donald Trump to look the other way. When the President of the United States has the power to get all the levers of government to abandon any commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, corporate America takes note of that. And what did we see? The minute Trump turned on DE&I, all these major corporations did what? They turned on DEI. McDonald's and Walmart and Target, run the list. So many of these companies have turned their backs on notions of diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's not just inside the company, it is also extended to them not putting dollars that they typically would, not giving dollars to their ad agencies to support black owned, black operated media. That's what we're up against. How do we navigate that part of the story?
I mean, there's not one solid answer for or one piece or one solution. I think that one, I totally agree. The way the revenues are set up to and how we could get those ad dollars. I also, I was talking to Roland the other day, and I was saying there is something about us also working as a collective
Hmm.
as Black media outlets. You're over at KBLA, I'm over at the Root. What are some synergies that we can have together when we're going to make these pitches to tell a complete and comprehensive story?
Hmm.
But I think it's just keep pounding the pavement, it's not easy, it has never been easy, but that doesn't mean that we can't keep pushing forward to make sure we get this message out via the Root. But we also, and it's not just the Root, it's other publications too. How do we make sure that
Yeah.
the Root is stable, the Griot is stable, Roland is stable, you're stable, all of us are stable, so that we can continue to get out the news through various mediums to
Yep.
the broader community.
What's your data tell you about your audience? Who is I mean, it's been 17 years to your point. Who is the Roots audience these days?
you know, People used to say the Roots audience or the young people, but that's because I was 20 when the Root came out,
Yeah.
and now I'm that reader, right? We ain't the young people no more.
Yeah.
So we have a college educated audience. The average income of most of our readers is above the median average for Black Americans in this country. It's a very diverse across the country, so not just one. And all of our readers are not Black, which is an important data point I always share because I say Black stories are American stories and American stories are global stories. So, you don't have to just be a Black reader to come to the root. But with that profile right now, I think that, again, by bringing things into video, by increasing the types of verticals and issue areas that we're talking about, we have a great opportunity to expand our audience beyond what it is right now, which is why when this opportunity came, it had to jump because it is kind of the perfect storm of things of being a digital first platform, focusing on Black people and having so many opportunities to take it to the next level.
In case you've just tuned in, we're talking to Ashley Allison, who's founder and CEO of Watering Hole Media, a company focused on amplifying diverse voices through video-first content. She recently acquired the influential online magazine The Root, returning the publication to Black ownership, and that's where I want to go when we come forward. Black ownership and her being a Black woman in media spaces. We'll talk about that when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
From Lamert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
On Thursday evening, November 6th, you're invited to the next KBLA Talk 1580 Altadena Town Hall meeting. This time, we're convening at Victory Bible Church, 1497 North Hill Avenue in Pasadena. The town hall will once again be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580 from 4 to 6 p.m. on Thursday, November 6th. But you're invited to join us in person for this urgent and necessary community conversation. The theme for this Altadena Eaton Canyon Fire Town Hall is Understanding the Wildfire Recovery Compensation Fund. The primary focus of this gathering is to inform residents about Southern California Edison's newly launched Wildfire Recovery Compensation Program and provide clarity on eligibility and the claims process. There are plenty of questions to be asked, and only KBLA Talk 1580 has the right moderators to ask the tough questions, the right stakeholders and community activists to share their insights, and we have confirmed the participation of corporate executives from Southern California Edison to answer our queries. So be sure to join us at Victory Bible Church in Pasadena, 1497 North Hill Avenue on Thursday, November 6th. The event is free and open to the public, but registration is required at kbla1580.com. That's kbla1580.com. Light refreshments will be served immediately following the live town hall. This KBLA Talk 1580 Altadena Rising Town Hall is brought to you by the Black Freedom Fund.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a laugh.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yay, yay!
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Sometimes he fails to fit in. We're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Ashley Allison, who is the new owner of the online publication, the online magazine, The Root, a news and culture site, and I'm honored to be in conversation with her. So, Ashley, tell me more about this journey to entrepreneurship. It's one thing to want to be a journalist, another thing to be, there are any number of roles in these media spaces that we occupy, but ownership is a whole nother thing. Tell me about your journey or your interest in getting to the ownership space.
Yeah, so I started to become an entrepreneur about 6 years ago. because it was the right time for me. We were coming out of having Joe Biden been elected president. We were starting to come out of the pandemic. And I had to make a real big decision in my life of whether or not I was going to continue to work for other people
Yeah.
for important causes, or if I was going to take a leap of faith and bet on myself in that moment and start to work for myself. And so I did that, and I started small with my own company, and then started to expand and bring on a small team. But really, when I started to thinking about ownership on a more accelerated timeline, is that you can work to build something from scratch, but I like to think of it the way we approach our work through a flywheel is how does one thing feed another? So
Hmm.
if you're uh, creating good content, but you don't have any way for people to see that content, then what's the content?
Yeah.
So really merging an acquisition with content development felt like the right path. And look, it was scary. It wasn't really, there weren't a lot of models of people making media acquisitions. So I you know, sought a lot of counsel from people that I was in tight relationships with, and people that I just were meeting for the first time because they had that experience. Um, but it also felt like this was a massive intervention in this moment that could happen to
Hmm.
kind of shift the tide on how people are thinking about storytelling.
Yep. As a black woman specifically, how do you process owning your own distribution platform? Put another way, as a black woman, your read on what it means to be an institution builder now.
I think we announced like 2.5 weeks ago. It got rave reviews. I was overwhelmed with how excited people were. And quite honestly, Tavis, I have just been like pounding the pavement so much, making sure the deal went through, making sure the launch is good, and
Hmm.
making sure the publication is strong enough to be considered an institution. I don't even think I've processed what we're doing and what we've done to date. And so I'm just waiting for the holidays for like the adrenaline to come down, and then really be able to reflect on this intervention, because I'm so focused on just not dropping any balls right now. I can't
Yeah.
kind of take a second to smell the flowers.
Nope, I receive that. I receive that. Our remaining moments with the new owner, whether she realizes it or not, whether it's set in or not, the reality, she is the new owner of The Root. Our remaining moments with Allison, when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has work source centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
And the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Tavis Smiley and Ashley Allison, who's founder of Watering Hole Media and the new owner, given her recent acquisition of The Root, the very popular news and culture site. That was founded some years ago by Henry Louis Skip Gates out of Harvard. But it's now controlled by Ashley Allison, and we celebrate that. So, Ashley, just a few minutes to go in this hour, in this conversation, which I appreciate. Given the ways in which we've discussed this, ad nauseum, ad infinitum, as you have, I'm sure, but given the way we see corporate media in this moment, sort of bending the knee when it comes to the way things are being done in Washington and beyond these days, I wonder what, to your mind, the unique responsibility is of Black media specifically in this moment?
Yeah, when I think about this moment, I think about the past, though, and really, the Black press is about to turn 200 years old. I just learned a couple of weeks ago, and um, the way you sustain a legacy of 200 years is that you think about what kept the steady beat, and we were the truth tellers. We told the stories that weren't always being told, and we kept our community connected. And I feel like the thing that has sustained the Black press to date is the thing that I have the most responsibility to maintain, is that we can't walk in fear. We have to walk in truth, and we have to meet the moment. So that's what I think about the Black press right now. And I think there's a great opportunity to do it now, with this publication.
Yep. In what ways does The Root now become even more so a training ground for young Black journalists?
Yeah, so I'm a former teacher, and taught a little bit at the college level also recently. And I've been thinking about how to integrate uh, in journalism interns, but also, like, a lot of times when you think of these programs, you think of just the writers, but it's the editors, it's the videographers, the clippers. There's so many people that play a role in it. And how do we open up this opportunity for high school students that might be curious about journalism and how to make a career out of it, but also college students, um, who could be doing some internships. So I'm excited to see, how we can expand to bring more young people into the newsroom.
Yep. And finally, here, what are your hopes and dreams? You don't step out and acquire something like this if you don't have hopes and dreams for what it can become. So, based on what we know it has been, what's the future look like for The Root?
I want the Root to be a place where people living in this country, primarily, but also people living across the globe, can go and get accurate information about the Black experience in America. And by getting that accurate information about the Black experience in America, you're getting an accurate representation of what is happening in America. So it is focused on telling our story, but telling it through a bigger context of how, we're impacting our country and the globe.
She's founder of Watering Hole Media and now the new owner of The Root. Again, congratulations, Allison, on the acquisition, and we look forward to seeing what you're going to do with this amazing platform in the months and years to come. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the program. When we come forward in our final hour, two great conversations to go. We will talk in a moment with U.S. Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, who is the Democratic nominee for governor in the Garden State of New Jersey. I was just reading a story that the Trump administration is now, you saw this story, they're going to be monitoring elections in California and New Jersey like we need election monitoring here in California. Get out of here. Anyway, they're going to be monitoring elections in California and New Jersey. We'll ask the Democratic nominee for governor in that state, Mikey Sherrill, about that. And then we'll close our show in our final half hour today with Dr. Funmi Olapade, our annual visit with her about their progress we're making, trying to turn the tide, beat back on this notion of breast cancer as we presently know it. You're listening, and I'm glad about it, to Tavis Smiley.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New York City is capping e-bike and e-scooter speeds at 15 miles per hour. Mayor Eric Adams pushed for the limit, and City Bike says it's already working to slow its fleet.
A lot of people use it. It's handy. It comes in handy for a lot of people to get around.
They need more regulation.
They drive like crazy.
The move comes after months of debate over safety and the popularity of electric rides. Black New York Attorney General Letitia James has pleaded not guilty to federal mortgage fraud charges in Virginia. Prosecutors allege she misrepresented a 2020 home purchase to get better loan terms. James calls the case baseless and political retribution. Her trial begins January 26th. And the search is on for Shaquille O'Neal's custom $180,000 Range Rover stolen while being shipped from California to Louisiana. Effortless Motors is offering a $10,000 reward. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The World Series is in LA the next 3 nights. Game 3 is tonight at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers and Toronto are tied at 1-1 in the best of 7. First pitch tonight at 5 o'clock on Fox. The Lakers didn't have LeBron or Luka Doncic for Sunday night's game at Sacramento. They did have Austin Reeves. Reeves dropped a career-high 51 points to spark a 127-120 win for the Lakers.